Okay, so let's talk about OpenAPI Codex. And look, you've probably heard that name before, right? But I want you to just forget everything you think you know. Because the tool we have today, it's a completely different animal. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it's been rebuilt from the ground up. You know, the idea of AI writing code, that's not the exciting part anymore. Honestly, that's kind of table stakes now. The real question, the one that changes everything, is this. Can an AI stop being just a clever tool and actually become your teammate? And that's the big idea here. This isn't about better autocomplete or, slightly smarter suggestions. We are talking about a totally new way of working, where developers and AI are true partners on a project. Get this. People are starting to call it vibe coding, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Imagine just talking to your computer, describing the goal, the feel, the vibe of what you want to build. You focus on the what, the big picture, and you let the AI handle the nitty-gritty of how to actually implement it. All right, so what is this thing? What is the modern OpenAI Codex that's making all of this possible? Let's get a clear definition. Okay, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Codex is not a code generator anymore. It is an AI agent, and that difference is massive. See, an agent doesn't just spit out text. It performs tasks. It can read files, it can run your test suite, it can go through your entire codebase and make changes to get a job done. It's an active participant. And you can really see this evolution if you look at its history. Back in 2021, the first Codex was basically just a smart code suggester. I mean, it's the tech that originally powered GitHub Copilot, but that version, it's gone. The API was deprecated in 2023. Fast forward to today, the relaunched Codex is, well, it's a whole new beast, built on next-gen models specifically to be an autonomous teammate. So, an autonomous agent sounds like science fiction, right? How does it actually work under the hood? Well, the real genius here isn't just the fancy AI model. It's the environment they built around it. And here's the secret sauce. Every single time you give Codex a task, it spins up its own secure, sandboxed cloud container. Think of it like a private little workshop. And inside that workshop, it can safely write code, read files, and here's the absolute game changer. It can execute its own code to see if it works. All of this happens in isolation, never touching your actual computer until you say so. And that sandbox is what allows for this incredible feedback loop. It's a cycle, right? 1, Codex writes a potential solution. 2, it runs the code and tests it right there in the sandbox. 3, it looks at the output. Does it work? Are there errors? And 4, if it's not perfect, it goes back, refines its own work, and tries again. It just keeps iterating until the tests pass. That ability to self-correct, that's what makes it an agent, not just a glorified text generator. Okay, so that's how it works, but how do you work with it? Well, Codex isn't just one thing. It's more like an entire ecosystem, and it shows up in 3 different ways depending on what you need to do. So you've got 3 main interfaces. First, there's the cloud agent. Think of this as your project manager. You give it a big, chunky task, and it just goes off and works on it in the background. Then you've got the IDE extension, which is your real-time pair programmer right there in your editor with you. And finally, there's the CLI, the command line interface. That's your power tool for all kinds of automation and scripting right from the terminal. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. I know what you're thinking. How is this any different from GitHub Copilot? They come from the same family tree for sure, but today they play completely different roles. It really comes down to a fundamental difference in philosophy. GitHub Copilot is an AI assistant. It's there to give you suggestions. OpenAI Codex is an AI agent. It's something you delegate entire tasks to. I mean, it's the difference between asking someone to finish your sentence versus asking them to go write the next chapter of the book for you. Now, if you look at this comparison, the single most important row is the one that says executionability. That's it. That's the whole ballgame. Codex can actually run code, run your tests, and verify its own work. Copilot can't. It's just generating text. That's why you tell Codex, hey, go implement feature X, but you ask Copilot, can you help me finish this for loop? 2 totally different jobs. So when you put all this together, what does it mean for the future of our jobs, for the future of software development? Well, having true AI agents on the team is starting to change the very nature of what it means to be a developer. And this brings us to what's becoming known as the golden rule of working with AI. And it's simple. Never commit code you don't understand. You are the engineer. You are in charge. Codex is an unbelievably powerful tool, But at the end of the day, you, the human, are responsible for the quality, the security, and the logic of that code. And what this really means is that the developer's role is evolving. It's shifting away from just being an implementer, the person who just types out the code. As AI handles more of that mechanical work, our value moves up the stack. The most important skills are becoming things like high-level architecture, creative problem solving, and just being a really sharp, critical reviewer of your AI teammates' code. And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. In a world where tools like Codex are commonplace, what really defines a great developer? Is it the person who can still write the most complicated algorithm from memory? Or is it the person who is the best collaborator, the one who can expertly guide, review, and leverage a whole team of AI agents to build something incredible?